Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me for once again another edition of Versus. Keep it short. We keep it simple. We keep it roughly 10 minutes, maybe even quicker. So what we do is we break down three different subcategories within the world of health and fitness. One of them being, and not the specific order, general nutrition topics. Another one is going to be based on just general exercise and workout, and it can be very broad or very general within that realm. Then the last one is even more generic as far as just more of like a general health, mental awareness, mindfulness type of subject. All right. So with that being said, now that you know what's going to happen, I am Zach, your strength and conditioning specialist friend here. We're going to go right through these. A little disclaimer at the beginning. Not as much disclaimer, just notification, right? I'm going to keep these somewhat general. I'm not going to specifically relate them to anyone out there just because we are all coming from such different, diverse backgrounds and goals. So if you want me to break these down specifically to you, please reach out to me and I can do that to get you on a good track schedule, whatever it is that it pertains to in this specific presentation. So let's hop right into it. Our first one is our nutrition subject. And as those of you that have joined me before, I like to kind of, myth bust and debunk some of those common myths out there. And as you're grocery shopping, especially when you talk about the nutrition side of things, there's so many buzzwords and fad diets out there. And it's just a very confusing market when going to buy anything at the store. And obviously you're going to be, gravitated towards some words such as, gluten-free or reduced fat or low carb or low fat. And a lot of these buzzwords is kind of what I'm breaking down. And I've talked about carbs in the past, different types of breads. So feel free to look back at that verse. I believe that was last week, December 10th. But anyway, on this one, I'm talking about low fat versus regular. You would think that, low fat, reduced fat would always be the better option. But if you really take a look at it, you turn over the regular product versus the low fat or reduced fat, whatever verbiage that they're using, flip it over and look at the nutritional facts. Yes, a particular fat might be lower, it depending on what you have, whether it's a meat or it's a snack, the saturated fat may be lower, the trans fat may be lower, whatever it is. However, some of the other ingredients are going to be stacked up against you because they got to make up for largely a lot of that taste. So what you're going to see, and I can also kind of combine low sugar and those in with this because stuff like sodium, sugar, fat, they're going to add a little bit more taste to your food. So if they're diminishing that or completely getting rid of it, then they got to make up for that taste somewhere else to the consumer, else the consumer is not going to buy it just because it doesn't taste nearly as good. Even if they see these health benefits of low fat on it, they're just not going to be buying it. Oftentimes, they're also a little bit more expensive because people think that it's a healthier choice. So what you're going to be seeing in these is, the trans fat may be down if we're talking a snack food, but your sugar content may be up. What they use as a sugar or fat substitute, meaning, they could have aspartame, different chemicals that you can't even pronounce that are in it to make up for that fat loss. Okay. So I guess what I'm really trying to get it to boil it down to one, take home point from this slide is that don't just jump at the product that says reduced fat, low sugar, whatever it is. Compare that to the normal one, okay, or the regular product. Flip it over, take a look at that nutrition guide, and look at what the difference is in it. And low fat compared to that regular might only be the difference of a gram, but the sugar's doubled. But the chemicals are just, the list you can't even pronounce is so long, it takes the whole back of the product. Okay, so I guess I'm saying that low fat, reduced fat, whatever it is 99% of the time not a healthier option, so to say. Okay, one more quick little touch I'll talk on that because I'm kind of combining them all. Is when you look at like whether it's a yogurt or any product that claims, and I see this primarily in yogurt, that's why I mentioned that claims that it's high protein. And you see the price is double. Like a regular yogurt might be $2. The high protein yogurt is $4.50. You're like, oh, well, yeah, it's got more protein. That's why it's more expensive. That that high protein or infused protein, some of these words that they use out there are just ridiculous, might only have a gram or two more protein than the regular one. All right, so they get you with that word, but they can say it's high protein because it is 1 gram higher than the regular, and you're paying double for it. So just a little mindful awareness when you're shopping at the grocery store. All right, that's enough on that one. Let's hop to the next thing. All right, so this is our just general wellness topic. So, and it kind of stems off last week. And how we talked about, preparing versus failing. So tracking versus winging it is kind of what I'm talking here. So once again, we can relate this to general nutrition. We can relate it to our exercise. We can relate it to our well-being as far as, planning out what we do in a day with our schedule. Okay, but I'm going to talk more about the tracking as opposed to winging it, or tracking as opposed to preparing side of things. So I want you to track it. If we're talking about exercise, you need to track your weights, track your sets, track your reps, track your rest period, and track how you felt during that. So what I mean by that is you go through workout, you hit, all the reps, all the sets, you hit everything the way that you had planned it, but you didn't feel very good. All right, write that down. Or you had something was bothering you, whether it was physically or emotionally, or say it was a really good day and you were only hitting these numbers. Track everything so that you can relate that to the next week. You go back and you say, all right, well, I hit all these high weights, I hit all my goals, and I wasn't feeling well. That means that you can probably really bump up your, whatever it is, your weights, decrease your rest period, whatever it is for that next week. Because if you weren't feeling that well, then whoa, and I was already at my max, you can bump it up, and vice versa. Okay. If the week prior, your weights and everything was way down, but you felt really good, you're not going to see this very often, then write that down, and you may need to, adjust that program. We can relate this to your nutrition. Most importantly, your nutrition. If you have a major goal that is, increasing muscle mass or decreasing fat composition, okay, you absolutely not only need to be preparing and scheduling this, but you need to be tracking it, okay? It's very simple. You need to figure out how many calories you're burning compared to how many calories you're consuming. There's no fancy fad diet, special math that you can do. It's just simply calories in versus calories out. If you're in a surplus, you're gaining weight. If you're in the negative, then you're going to be losing weight. If your major goal is to build muscle, you need to be tracking your protein intake. There's no way around it. Okay, you need to track protein. All right. Quick little relation to myself. I love designing programs. Whenever I go to the gym, I follow a strict program. Now, there's some times where I just get off the beaten path. I get maybe bored with it, or I forget it at home, or whatever it is, and I just wing it. Those days, man, you can't go back and remember exactly what weights you did, exactly what your rest periods are, exactly how many sets, reps, how many exercises you did. You don't know what type of exercises you did. Maybe you were forced onto a different machine or a different type of bench than you typically use. Those are things you need to track in order to actually see and track your progression. And those days usually end up being, you don't spend nearly as much time in the gym. You don't nearly get the quality of a workout in. All right. So, and there's many different ways we can relate this to pretty much anything in life, but track everything. So going back to last week, make sure everything is scheduled and planned. Okay. And then after the fact or during the fact, make sure you're tracking it so that you can visually see your progression, or vice versa, visually see why you're not progressing. Okay. If your weights are staying the same, well, you keep writing, you're not feeling good. You're not feeling good on these days. We need to figure out what you've been doing on these days that is causing you to not feel good, whether it was sleep or your nutritional intake, whether it was something emotionally, through work, through family, through health that's going on. Okay. So we need to be able to track, just simple tracking. You're going to see progression. Winging it, you're not really going to see any progression. You may even be regressing. All right. That's enough on that. Let's hop to the last one. Next one. This is specific to exercise, full body versus isolating exercises. We call this the bro plan, isolating exercise or isolating workout days. Guys go to and sorry to categorize you, but this is just so typical. Guys go to the gym on Monday, they do chest. Guys go to the gym on Tuesday, they do back. Guys go to the gym on Wednesday, they do arms. If they feel like they want to work out Thursday, they might do some lower body exercises. And then the weekend hits and, they just do whatever it is that they want to do. Then they reset. All right. And everyone wants their workouts based on this. The problem is I said maybe do some lower body in there, right? That's typical. They don't typically do a whole lot of lower body. If you're only doing chest on Mondays, that means you're only working your chest one time a week. You're just not nearly getting the maximum potential to grow muscle there. And I'm not going to just single you guys out, guys. But females kind of do the opposite of this. They go to the gym Monday and they do lower body, they do butt, they do abs. They go to the gym on Tuesday, all right, and they do back. Girls like doing back, guys like doing chest. That's just the way it is, okay? Wednesday they go and they do yoga, they do stretching, they do cardio. All right, I'm super generalizing, so understand that. And then, probably do like an off day Thursday, maybe go to the gym again on Friday and do some cardio and some more butt stuff. It's probably what they'll do. That's what you see. Where in that workout progression, did you see or hear any arms, upper body, anything of that nature? It was just back and lower body and cardio, right? You're not developing a full body strength resiliency. You're not increasing, you're decreasing your injury risk. Sorry. Increasing your injury risk. I was going to say injury prone versus full body. Full body, and once again, this all kind of depends on how many days a week you plan on exercising. If you're only exercising 3 days a week, which was kind of what I described there, some of them are 4 days a week, you should be doing full body exercises. Okay, you should, in order to achieve that maximum potential of strength, toning, or fat burning, you need to be doing full body exercises. If you're looking, if you're going in 5-6 days a week, that's when you can start isolating exercises. But even it shouldn't be a chest day, a back day. It should be a heavy chest day, light lower body day, and then vice versa. So if you follow that, you're going to be hitting lower body many times in the week. You're going to be hitting chest multiple times in a week, but you have a heavy day and a light day with it. Okay, these are how you build strength properly. Okay, everyone just goes on Google and types in exercise program, and it's going to come up that. Right? Chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, maybe some lower body Wednesday. All right. So that's only for those very experienced people and those people who are going into the gym 5, 6, maybe even 7 days a week. They're really going to isolate certain exercises and muscles. If you're going in 3, 4, or less days a week, which is 99% of you out there, you want to be doing full body exercises. All right. If you're looking to fat burn, you need to be doing full body exercise. If you want to be building strength, you need to be doing full body exercise. If you are going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week and you just want your biceps to look good and your abs to look good when you go to the beach once beach season hits, you should be doing isolating exercises. All right, you see the difference? The full body is like 99.9% of anyone anyone ever talks to. The other 1% is your group of college bros, okay, that are isolating exercise because they go to the gym every day. All right, so big difference. But the thing is that only about 30% of you are doing full body exercises, and 60% of you are doing isolation exercise. So the whole point of this slide is I need to reverse this. This is a trend that we see in fitness that I'm trying to completely reverse. A lot more people based on time and goals should be doing full body exercises 3 to 4 days a week, not isolation exercises for 30 minutes, 7 days a week. All right, hopefully that point is across. I probably end up repeating myself about 10 times, and I'll probably need to repeat myself about 100 more times to get that across. But hopefully I made my point. Those are my, we'll call them myth busting, the little topics or categories within health fitness I want to cover this week. So thank you for watching Versus. Any more questions, comments, or concerns about anything I covered today, please reach out to me individually and I can relate these to your specific schedule, goals, whatever it is. All right. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay active. All right. Cheers.